Are we live yet?
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome to the ABC show, right? My name's Attila. This is
The D-bag.
the D-bag. You?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not a
to put on my attire.
Oh, you're tired. That's right. Well, put on that attire.
Now it's all wrinkled because I was just sitting on it.
Ha!
Okay.
All right. So anyway, here we are. It's what,
My name's
October,
Brian,
right?
by the way.
That is Brian. Yes. You need to put that stuff up so people know what they're watching.
Yeah.
And
We just had to get it
and who
set
we
up
are.
real quick
Yeah, as always.
and get ourselves on the air,
Yeah.
even though technically
Do stuff.
we're on right now.
Well, yeah. Ow! What's going on here? Crazy. Yeah. Unprofessional, improfessional, unprofessional.
We don't have to be professional because this is fun time.
That's how you sleep at night.
Yeah.
Just tell yourself this isn't professional. We just do this for the hell of it. All right. Yeah. Fix the hair. There we go. Our hairstylist wasn't here today.
Yes, we have one of those. We have a hairstylist. That's how professional we are.
Actually, a friend of mine is a hairstylist, and his wife. They're both hairstylists. So that's how we roll. So anyway, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, first of all, we have a completely new, better setup in here, but still you want to go with the old shitty one, so that's why we're here.
That's right. Well, that part is not finished yet. So once we're all finished and set up,
It even has,
everything's
I don't want to spin the computer around because everything's all plugged in, but there's one of those nice, what would you call that? Boom mic stand.
yeah, they are too. But yeah, that one's almost like, it's not hydraulic, but
Yeah,
the next best
it's one of
thing.
those ones that you can just move around. This one just kind of, it goes this way.
Like the ones they have in real radio studios and stuff,
Yeah.
except smaller. So that's where it's at. So anyway, so here we are. We've killed, what, a couple minutes here, just talking about absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Mhm. An educational show.
It's definitely an educational show. You're going to hear some noises today because Cheva, who's actually the C in the ABC, we're drilling some holes over there in that new area that we're going to use at some point, just not now. I'm looking at the water over there and I'm thinking how thirsty I am. I hate when that happens. That's all right. Cheva will be back kicking you out of water unless I forget all about it. So actually, I wanted to. Tina just posted.
You didn't write it down?
Actually, I didn't because I was outside when I got the story. My friend Tina posted on Facebook, and it's actually her birthday today, so I want to wish Tina a happy birthday. It's like sad and hilarious at the same time, and I wasn't quite sure. Like,
I like those ones.
yeah. You know, it wasn't totally sure how to feel about it. Oh man, I'm in the wrong story thing here. Okay, you talk for a second while I find it.
I'm not, this isn't my job. That's your job. When
Well,
I'm
that's
doing
true.
stuff, you talk.
Now I'm doing two things at once.
Well, actually, now we're going to be both doing something.
What are you doing?
I'm going to be,
Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna find it now.
I'm going to be fixing up our stuff that I forgot.
Oh, yes. We must do that. See, like I said, we're not professional. Actually, he said it too. Why do you look like a giant compared to me?
Because I'm here.
Yeah, that's right. You're at what, 5'10"? You tower over me. 5'11", whatever you are.
Something like that.
I can't judge height from a wheelchair, damn it.
I'm taller than both my mom and my dad. So
Put together?
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yes, I am about
10, 11 feet tall. So anyway, right, this is a story that I didn't know how to react. I laughed. I felt bad about it, but then I couldn't stop laughing. Man survives crash, is killed when wife comes to help. All right, so that's the opposite, right? A man, this happened in France, by the way. A man who lost control of his van and crashed in
in France. Nobody really cares because
right.
they're all nihilists.
Yes. So he crashed his car right in a turn somewhere, but he and his 14-year-old, 16-year-old daughter survived the crash, right? But as his 44-year-old wife drove to the scene after they called for help, she lost control of her car at the same exact curve, hit him, and killed him. Is that, I don't know what that is. But I thought to myself, like, that's some seriously, I don't know, bad luck, good luck. Like, was the wife, maybe she set him up, came to finish the job. That was just one of the stories, like, you know, if somebody made it a movie, you'd be like, yeah, that's freaking stupid and unbelievable. You know what I mean? But then it happens in life, which once again
That
proves.
needs to be a movie. That should be a movie.
Yeah.
Let's make that
It just proves that, you know, like they say, you can't make this shit up. You just can't. That was bugging the shit out of me.
It was right on your face.
It was, man. It was. I had a flake sitting there.
I was going to do it, but there's a touch screen, so it's going to mess everything up.
Oh, well, I'm glad I didn't mess shit up, man. All right, so here we go. All right, so we got this one. We have a small crew today, just you and me.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Sometimes that's nice.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Because once we start getting a crew in here, it gets a little out of hand and crazy at times, which I don't mind either. Here at the ABC show, we have the best of both worlds.
And then we're gonna get those acoustic panels set up like.
Yeah.
Those walls, and then it's gonna sound.
We'll have it by next week.
And hopefully the door will be shut.
Yeah.
You can hear that. I mean,
I hear a dog barking.
Surprisingly, whenever we listen back to these things, you can't hear a lot of that background noise.
Except the dogs barking. I can hear the dogs barking.
Yeah.
I have sensitive ears to dogs. That and cigarette smoke. I can smell people smoking from like 3 houses
It's just
away.
the quality difference. We hear all the little nuanced sounds that
That's right.
don't really translate over.
No, they don't. We like it.
Because we're listening through here.
We are?
Not through there.
Not through there? No. All right. So, let's see here. Okay, this one story I found. It's a police force in the most corrupt city in America is disbanded after speed trap scandal.
What's the corrupt city?
It is Waldo. Ironically, that's the name of the city. The city that once covered.
Where is Waldo?
In Florida. Was it Florida? I get it. The city that once.
I thought it was going to be Chicago.
Well, no, they just shoot each other there.
Well,
but remember, it's a gun-free zone. Yeah, I like getting this jacket. That's a nice jacket. Where'd you get that jacket?
I think it was like JCPenney, and it was like $60.
Did you ever see Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I was doing Spicoli there. That's a nice jacket.
It actually looks a lot nicer.
Yeah. Did you see that one? Speaking of Waldo, did you see that? Did you see that one thing on Facebook? It's a little meme or whatever, and it's Waldo. He's like sitting there, with his legs crossed and like and the whole thing was Waldo finds himself. Did you see that?
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's funny. After all these years, Waldo found himself. So anyway, the city that once covered half of its $1 million budget with speeding tickets, fines, and other police revenue is disbanding its department. The Waldo City Council voted 4-1. That's a big council there. 5. So can't get that big of a city. On Tuesday, to dissolve the police force after both the police chief and his replacement were suspended over allegations that included ticket quotas. But does that surprise anybody? Because every police department in the world does this.
That's bullshit that they even have quotas.
Yeah, it is. I agree, but I think it's like
you have to just find reasons to.
Yeah, you gotta make money so people can reach that bucket and steal it somehow, right? So Waldo has been one of 2 towns designated by the AAA actually as a traffic trap, meaning that it's considered law enforcement practices to be more focused on generating revenue than enforcing safe driving behavior. The Gainesville, yeah, there you go. Okay, so it is in Florida. The Gainesville Sun reports in August 5 officers came forward with allegations that police chief Mike Subbo, the guy's Hungarian, what a jackass, don't make us hunkies look bad, enforced a quota of 12 tickets for every 12-hour shift. That's a lot of tickets. Holy, that's 1 an hour from every cop. Yeah, from every cop. Man. Yeah, this guy had a quota. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
what happens if you don't reach your quota? You get fired?
There's actually the one cop. He sent him back out. Oh, here he was quoted by another officer that.
But not if
Mike Subbo told him.
If you kill a guy, you don't get.
Well, yeah, that's fine, especially if he's black, right? Yeah. In Florida, they'll stand their ground. So it looks like you have some work to do when you come in. Subbo wrote an email after an officer recorded only 4 tickets in one day. So yeah, that's what happens.
What if everybody drives perfectly and there's no tickets to give?
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll find a way.
That's
just how it goes sometimes.
The logic in the quotas for tickets is just it's beyond my.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't get it.
But I don't drive, and I haven't gotten a ticket in my hand cycle yet. Yet.
That's fine. That's why
they need it badly enough. Yeah.
You know your country's kind of fucked up if you can't just drive around and see a cop and
say, hey, look.
Yeah. Every time I see a cop and I'm driving, even if I'm doing everything right, which I always am, don't sleep. Like if I always get that weird feeling like, oh shit, what am I doing wrong?
You shit yourself like most people do.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't think you should get that feeling.
That shouldn't be a natural feeling.
But I was never like that, even when I drove or whatever I'm doing. I'm just like, screw it. Yeah, because I can't do anything about it. They're ever going to pull you over and give you a hard time. There isn't a whole lot you can do about it.
Be annoyed.
Yeah.
I don't want to be annoyed.
Just deal with it. I make friends with these guys.
Cops?
Yeah, everybody.
Cops aren't bad. It's just
Well, the back.
when you know they
all you need is one bad cop to
when you know they have quotas that they need to give so many tickets,
yeah.
and you drive past one, you're like, well, I could be that guy.
Well, that's why I'm guessing.
Like
I'm guessing that's why the police force there was disbanded. They said enough of this nonsense.
So there's just no police force, just anarchy.
Anarchy. Yeah.
Stand your ground law.
Yes. Well,
which can't be about it because there's no law. There's
right.
no law enforcement. So
go to Waldo. That's where it's at.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then this is actually I found this one interesting. Nick sent this in. Our buddy there.
Yeah, Nick. Shout out to Nick.
Nick Sanchez.
And whoever's watching. My mom wanted me to do a shout out.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So anyway, did you see the one thing he posted about the concrete cast of ant nest burial's huge underground metropolis? It was actually really, really cool, man. This thing was enormous. Like normally you see an anthill, and it's, I don't know, about the size of a head, give or take,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this thing, but when you go underground, they actually poured some sort of a concrete cement-like mixture in there. And my understanding, though, is they removed every ant before they did this. Because people were all... That's right. That's a lot of rain if you kill all those ants, right? Yeah. You remember, like, if you step on an ant, it'll rain?
That's global hurricane floods.
That's right. Maybe that's how the whole Noah shit happened. He killed all the ants. So anyway, yeah, this ant was huge, man. It was underground. It was over 150 feet wide and over 24 feet deep. And if you put that to like human size, I think it comes out to roughly around a mile. That's pretty enormous for a bunch of ants when you think about it. I thought that was really, really cool. And how intricate it was. I mean, if you have you ever seen like the ancient caves they had like in Turkey? It's a lot of limestone. So in the they have caves everywhere that have been there for like 3,000-4,000 years, and it's really interesting because you think to yourself, these caves were very complex. If you've ever seen the ones I'm talking about, they had like ventilation systems. They had areas set up that were like their temples. They had areas. They had big enough areas there for livestock. They kept livestock in there. They had another place where they did like their animal sacrifices and shit. Yeah, it was very smart. But here's the question that it raises: who were they hiding from? Even 2,000 years ago, who were they hiding from? Because it's like if they were hiding, some people in Turkey. Yeah, and some people claim.
What were the weather conditions?
Well, it's beautiful there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, they're right there by Israel and all that, and Greece.
So caves automatically mean that they're hiding from something.
Well, they were. I mean, that's the way these things were set up. Yeah, they were hiding because they had giant. No, they had giant rolling rocks, that they used as like doors.
I have something in my eye.
Right, those things weigh like a couple of tons. And shit,
see my emotions.
So anyway, so it was really, really interesting.
Poker face now.
It was really interesting because again, it goes like, who are they hiding from? Because some people try to say, well, they're hiding from the Romans, But if you're marching through like a military does, you would see, do you know what I mean? You would see the vent holes. You would see like the cave entrance with the rolling rock and everything in front of it.
Rolling rocks are kind of weird.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was pretty neat. So yeah, but
ants and people have a lot in common.
Well, they do, except ants. They're more like a society. They know their place in society. We don't.
We're a bunch of assholes.
We're a bunch of assholes.
Because we have these brains, though, we can think about.
The hybrid mentality. Yay, to know hybrid mentality. And I think that's the one thing the 1%ers hate. Because they can't get shit done because there's always an asshole somewhere that's going to get in their way. But if they just, a hybrid mentality is great if you're like the king or the queen. Anyone else, it kind of sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do you know it sucks because you have hybrid mentality?
Well, yeah, I guess you wouldn't, but from our point of view, it would suck. Well, you'd be like everybody else was, 1,000 years ago.
I mean, we still.
A couple of hundred years ago. But.
Kind of, yeah. Mentality.
Of the hybrid shit?
Yeah.
That only happens whenever somebody says something on Facebook that offends somebody. And then everybody jumps on. How about this?
We all eat, McDonald's and.
I can't tell you last time I had McDonald's.
I don't eat any fast food, but still.
Yeah, I shy away from it if all possible, but I have eaten it. I mean, I'm not gonna act like I didn't. In fact, I used to love their French fries when I was young. Oh man, I used to tear those things up.
My point is, we all have to contribute to,
Sure,
People
yeah.
that are above
Yeah,
us.
but there's a
Or else
difference.
we'll
There's a
decide.
difference in finding your
Unless
own
you're Christian
place.
Campbell.
But there's a difference between and being forced to like build a fucking pyramid for no apparent reason.
There's some gray area there.
That's what I'm saying.
Go
Though.
on.
You know, there's a difference between the two. How about you heard about this kid, right? This kid, what is it? Teachers arrested following threesome with student.
More of this teacher-student business.
Yeah. But it's.
I think the student should get fired, not the teacher.
Well, the thing is, like nowadays, it's always a female teacher who's good, are pretty freaking hot, and are banging like they're 16, 17-year-olds.
High school thing. Yeah.
Well, I was born way before my time, dude. It says there, you know, the two high school teachers, this one in Louisiana, and this one, which is I think next to Florida, right?
Did you just say you were born before your time?
I was born way before my time. Yeah.
How does that? I don't understand that.
Well,
Wouldn't you be born exactly?
at my time, no. I was born before my time. Well, it's a creation of my man. It's the fourth dimension, according to some. You know,
well, I mean,
according to string theory, it's the fourth dimension.
Without time, there'd be
Chaos.
no. Yeah, there'd be nothing.
Yeah, maybe it's better that way. I mean, maybe that's the actual state of reality, or the next step of reality. Ooh, we're getting deep.
Yeah.
So anyway, all this because it's definitely an educational show.
Say that about 10 times during the show.
Yeah, maybe people will start believing it. Either or one viewer is going to bail out because he's tired of hearing you say it. So anyway, so two high school teachers charged with carnal knowledge of juvenile. And
What?
carnal knowledge.
Oh.
You know, the C and the K and fuck.
I thought you were saying cardinal.
That too, yeah. Two high school teachers in Louisiana have been arrested after police say that they had group sex with a student. Now, here's the thing. The kid's 16-year-old. I understand he's got to brag. I mean, what 16-year-old wouldn't brag? But damn it, kid. Don't screw it up. He was banging two pretty hot teachers. The one was definitely hot. The other one was not bad at all. You know what I mean? So he had a good thing going. And the one teacher was married. So, you know, she wasn't going to talk. The other one is the one he had to worry about. but I'm just like, man, this dude had it made. So like these two teachers now, they up the ante. Up to now, it's just been like, you know, one female teacher against one male student. Now we got 2-on-1. So we need three. We need three to come forward next. Bravo to this kid, though.
Yeah,
by the
that's
way,
why I was clapping. I don't know why you were clapping.
I was clapping just to get you to clap.
Hybrid mentality.
That's right. Then there's another cool little story. I'm not quite sure why this was a story, but apparently some people in Spain were upset.
About people in Spain being upset.
You know, some people might.
Spain.
People have
That's a pretty irrelevant country nowadays. Spain, right?
Well, yes and no. I mean, granted, they are not what they used to be, but if you go down to South America, there's a whole lot of Spanish being spoken. Even Central and South America, except for Brazil. The Portuguese got there. That tiny little country that is like 1/10 of Spain. It looks like a state that just Portugal does. Yeah. Portugal just completely ruled that big, gigantic, one of the biggest countries in the world. I guess kind of created it. Brazil. I want to go to Brazil. Brazil, yes. I like Brazil. I like Brazil.
Because of the...
Well, yeah. Carnival. I want to be there for Carnival. Yeah, Carnival. I want to be down there for the beach, just to hang on the beach, down by Rio de Janeiro.
Humans shouldn't have hair anymore.
No, that's awful. Oh, God, body hair, man. We're like so monkey still, man. Screw that shit. I want to get away from our ape ancestors. You know how that goes.
Racist.
Stupid apes. No, I'm apist.
Well, they were a race, and you don't want to be them anymore.
They were a species.
What's the difference?
Well, a race would be like, you know, race of people. Black, white, Chinese. Well, not Chinese, but whatever. Oriental, Asian.
I think
Northeast Asian.
That race has a closer...
whatever species.
It's more synonymous with the species than it is ethnicity, in my opinion.
It could be, I guess,
You
either
have
way.
squirrels. They're their own squirrel race.
But we don't have to try to guess. We know there were species of humans.
I'm bringing up squirrels because of last week's show.
Yeah, Will had a thing against squirrels.
He was fine with sheep though.
And then he comes to Squirrel Hill to do a show. He might as well go to like Klan headquarters to do a show about, how black people suck. The only black guy like surrounded, like Klansmen.
The black white supremacist Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, that was funny.
That
Or my buddy Kevin, who actually dressed like a Klansman in West Virginia. He used to work at a radio show in West Virginia. Kevin is a big black guy. And he was DJing at a West Virginia radio station. So for Halloween that year, he decided to go as a Klansman. It was freaking hilarious. The only didn't find it funny were like 2 or 3 black people we ran into. They didn't think it was funny at all. But everybody else was buying him shots and drinks. Yeah, to see a black guy walking around with the hood and robe was absolutely freaking hilarious.
That episode of Chappelle's show was hilarious.
Yeah, so did Chappelle steal Kevin's idea?
Also,
you know what that falls into?
We need to start like a petition or something to get the Chappelle show back up.
Well, I think that's up to Dave.
No.
I'd like to get Dave on the show.
It's up to...
He'll raise the funny by like...
Oh, yeah.
Instantly. But, yeah, man, so did he steal Kevin's idea? And here's how weird life is. Like about 4 or 5 years ago, I was trying to get a hold of Stephen Hawking. I was emailing, I was sending out emails, just trying to get a hold of Stephen Hawking.
Pretty difficult.
Yes, it was very difficult. I didn't succeed at it, but I was trying to get a hold of him because I wanted to interview the guy and actually use excerpts from that interview in a song.
Intergalactic, planetary.
No, not quite.
Intergalactic.
But so anyway, so I could never get a hold of the guy. So did you see Pink Floyd's coming out with a new album, right? Did you see it? Pink Floyd's coming out with a new album, and it's going to feature Stephen Hawking in it. I'm like, did those bastards steal my idea? Like, I hate when that happens. If I would have had all the money and fame and all that shit back in 2009, I would already have done it.
What if Stephen Hawking's like just a total asshole?
I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't.
I bet he ignores people a lot.
Just sits there and says nothing.
Yeah.
Well, but when your IQ is as big as that guy's, what are you gonna have in common with most people? Like people always talk about how awkward Tesla was, and he had a hard time, relating with people, and But this is a guy who, like, they tested from all his experiments and everything else. They found that his IQ was like over 250, like around 300 or some nonsense like that. So if your IQ is that high, what are you going to talk about with most people whose IQ is like 90? Like that is about the average IQ, I think, right around there, right? 90, 95, something like that. 100. Maybe 100, somewhere in that neighborhood. But okay, but if your IQ is like 3 times higher, it doesn't mean you're 3 times smarter. It means you're a shitload smarter. Do you know what I mean? So
it's not like you get a group of 3 people with the IQ of 90.
Right. No, that's not how it works, right? So what's Tesla going to talk about, to anybody about? Yeah, that would just be a burden. Like, you want to be smart, but you don't want to be too smart. Because once you get too smart, then you can only talk to like 3 people in the world. Yeah. So anyway, so in Spain, right? Spain's Christian history challenged by discovery of 4th century glass plate. And I don't even know why this became a story, really. But artifact depicting clean-shaven Christ predates 5th century arrival of Visigoths, thought to have brought Christianity, right? So I guess that's a stink. Somehow the Visigoths apparently brought it. But here's the thing, okay? During that time, in the 4th century, Spain was like a Roman colony. And Christianity was ushered in by, what the hell was his name? God, I'm drawing a blank. The Roman Emperor. God, I can't get Claudius out of it. But anyway, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. But anyway, so what the hell is his name? Jesus. Constantine. Yes. So he's the one who ushered in Christianity. Well, he lived in the 4th century, right? That's where he ruled. So he ushered it in. So the Romans, like myself, didn't like body hair. The Romans the wealthy ones, to them it was barbaric. If you had long hair and scruffy face and body hair and shit, you were thought to be just barbaric. So and it was like a class status with them because those who were wealthy enough could pay to have their chest hair and back hair and arm hair, all that hair plucked out once a month or once every couple of months, whatever it needed to be done. So, of course, their depiction of Jesus would be clean shaven and short hair. Wouldn't you think that? Like if I'm freaking the emperor, he's going to be depicted in my image. You know, so I don't think this should be like a big giant shock to anybody. But apparently it is.
That's how most religions are. God is created in humans' image.
Well, I always say, just give me the history of any people, and I'll tell you what kind of God they worship. If they're a bunch of warriors, they're going to worship. Like, look at the Vikings, for example. Who did they worship? Thor, Odin, Loki. These guys who were all warrior gods. So.
It's like what Christopher Hitchens said in the video I showed you. Either man created God in his image, or God has created, or man has created. No, other way around. God has created man in his image, or man created God in
yes.
God. Many
yes.
gods.
Yes.
Which one seems more rational?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So.
I just need to learn how to speak. Articulate sense.
I think you're doing fine.
No.
So, it's just the two of us. It's more pressure on us this time.
Yeah, it is. Someone can't just jump in and be like, all right, shut the fuck up.
Bubba's not just speaking gibberish, drunken nonsense. Yeah! He's not bringing up the ICP. So.
Air, water, fire, and dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work?
I can't believe they were brought up again. Jesus Christ. We can't go a show without the ICP on the show.
How can you be that smart?
So now here's the thing. All right, this is
magnets work.
This I can't figure out what to make of all this. Okay, so a recent article, I think it just came out. It says here, Antarctica has lost so much ice, it's changed Earth's gravity. All right, so the European Space Agency put out a press release late last month that claims that they have made a disturbing discovery concerning Earth's gravity, according to high-resolution measurements from the gravity field and steady-state ocean circulation explorer. That's a mouthful. Has found that there has been a significant change in the Earth's gravity due to the melting of the Antarctic shell. I haven't noticed any. I'm still just as heavy, but okay. Okay, so they're claiming that the ice is melting, right? And that it's screwed up.
It's swooshing around a little bit more because it's not solid. It's liquid.
Right.
And that's messing up the wobbliness of the Earth. And that's just another thing that's possibly going to kill us all.
No, but here's the thing, okay? So then a couple weeks before,
there's a lot of those things.
A couple weeks before, I read this article. Antarctic ice at record high growth. Arctic continues to lose. So Arctic, in the North Pole, apparently we're losing ice, but it's all going to the South Pole, right?
So that means the Earth is like this, and then it's going to start, I don't know, wobbling like.
So here, I mean, Antarctica gained 7.6 million square miles of sea ice this southern winter, according to the National Snow and Ice Data Center, while sea ice in its northern counterparts continues to shrink.
I think they're lying. So I don't think ice grows in squares.
No, not in square. Well,
I've never seen ice cubes.
Cubes, yeah.
Well, yeah, cube, like other than.
But it's not just a square.
I've never seen ice other than the cubes that you put in your freezer form in squares.
But here's the thing, okay? So which one is it? Are we losing ice? Are we gaining ice? Is the Earth? Here's my feeling about this whole thing, right? We've been measuring Earth climate change shit for about 100 years, give or take. And I'm thinking that we just don't have a big enough sample to understand how the Earth works. Well, like I know you can dig down into the ground and they brought up Earth and you can see what had happened in the past and all that stuff.
But they do that.
But that's not
Antarctic
right.
ice.
But what I mean is that's not a day-to-day. They don't look at every day and say, oh, on September 23rd of, I don't know, 10,001 BC, the weather was this. Do you know what I mean? It's like they just take chunks of samples of what happened around 1,000 years ago, what happened around 900 years ago, what happened around, you know what I mean? So you don't have, like, right now we can see when a fucking snowflake falls somewhere, and we can record it. And then we try to run with that data and say that this is happening and that is happening. And my whole thing is I just think that we don't have a large enough sample of all this minute shit that people are crying the sky is falling over. Do you know what I mean? It's like having too much information and then you don't know what to do with it. So you start making theories that, oh, this is happening, that's happening, the Earth's dying, the oceans are going to swell to like astronomical levels where New York is going to be underwater and all the coastal cities will be on. Maybe not. But what my whole point is that we know that this shit has happened because, like we talked about last week, in that pyramid-like structure that was found off the coast of Okinawa. Remember we were talking about it, how it's completely underwater. So clearly, at some point, that was probably a coastal town.
But then you have places like in Folsom Lake, the Mormon town, that was uncovered when the water level went down.
Yeah, right.
Interesting.
So, yeah,
things just fluctuate.
They do fluctuate, and that's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not ready to like panic and say, "Oh my God, global warming and this and that." I do believe global warming is a real thing. It does happen, but I don't know how much of that man is responsible for. And I think that's where the argument comes in, because you have corporations that saying, we have minimal to no play and what happens, and then you have the other groups who also have an agenda that say you're destroying it. Yeah. Right, so everybody's got an agenda. Both sides are screaming. One side's telling you there's no change.
What would you rather put your, Bill Nye said it the best.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
what should you put your efforts into? Not caring if, the big corporations are right and, doing it that way, or maybe take what all these scientists say about global warming and shit, and maybe trying to figure that out.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying that it's just crazy because no matter where we get the information from, somebody's always got an agenda.
What's in our best interest? There we go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the best interest would be to just try to be as natural as you can. Try not to put too many fossil fuels.
Don't shut down Tesla's idea.
Absolutely. I mean, if I did my way, but the problem is that the Earth and our entire economy was based, not the Earth itself, but our entire economy was based on fossil fuels. So we're stuck. So until
which is running out, oil.
Well, I hear peak oil arguments. I hear that's bullshit. Again, it just, who's screaming peak oil? The oil companies, because it justifies them raising gas prices.
Well, I mean, we know how oil is made.
Well, is it made or is it just sucked out of the ground? Well, you have to refine. I mean, you get the oil, then you refine.
I mean, like the crude, the stuff that is sucked out of the ground. We know how that's made, and that's what we use, and we know that there is a finite amount of it. Well,
we think we know how it's made, and again, that's where it comes into it, because people say it was leaves, it's dinosaurs, it's this and that, leftover crap. So I'm not 100% sold on that either, because we're in the information age, and there's so much information that's coming out. Yeah.
What's in your best interest? Still using that anyway?
No, of course not. No, look, you know me. I mean, I want electric. I want, saltwater car that we talked about. I love all that shit. But yeah, absolutely. But
gyroscopes or whatever you use.
Yes. Well, tapping right into the Earth's magnetic sphere. Yeah, absolutely. I'm all for that technology. But here, and again, this is why we're stuck, because our entire freaking economy was based on these stupid fossil fuels. And these corporations, the powers to be, the guys who are in charge, who basically got the monopoly on this shit, they're not willing to let it go until they can create a monopoly on something else. I mean, believe me, they could figure out a way how to tax us for the sun, or make sure you only get sun if you pay for it. They would do it. Air, another thing, yeah. Spaceballs with the little Perrier.
Is that what it's going to take for people to open up their eyes and be like, maybe something's a little fucked?
Yes.
Maybe our air is getting taxed.
Unfortunately, yes.
I don't feel like I should be paying for air I breathe. Let's start a revolution.
Unfortunately, that is exactly what it's going to take.
I think it's going to take more than that. I think we're going to get to the point where it's like, okay, I'll pay air taxes. I don't care.
I mean, look how bad the air quality in Pittsburgh in the 50s was, and you'd be amazed how many people I talked to who say, boy, I wish we could go back to those days, because at least they're making money. So, as long as people's priority is to make money, and that's the whole concern, then unfortunately, they'll deal with whatever stupid shit. I mean, just think how many people lost or died.
Money's cool. You can buy stuff.
Yeah, but money itself has no value. It's only the value that we put on it. You know what I mean? So at least with gold has value. You can use it for other things. Gold is the actual thing that you can. I mean, what are you gonna do with money? You can burn it.
Look at our stuff in here. All this stuff has value to us because we can do all this.
Right.
And people, you use these little useless pieces of paper to get this shit. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It works. It's just, I mean, It could be better, but
the only reason this shit was created because there wasn't enough gold for everybody on the planet. There wasn't enough wealth. Do you know what I mean? So if that were the case, you know, like people couldn't get any more rich.
Like just trading shit.
You know, because back in the day, how did kings get rich? Not only did they just, you know, take the knights and the Crusades. That's why they were finally destroyed because
I'm
of
just
their
saying that having a currency, even if it is just useless paper or cloth or whatever they
well,
use.
it's numbers.
Well,
Numbers
like,
is the next one.
Yeah, it's a lot better than trying to pay with like grain or something.
I don't know. I like the bartering system. You had something, you bartered it. You know, I'll give you my toothpicks for your dog.
I have to think about that stuff too much.
No, bartering was a good system, but the thing with bartering is that
there's too big of a scale for bartering to really work anymore. That needs stuff.
You can still barter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have websites that, you know, where you do that kind of shit. You know, not necessarily barter, but, you know, anytime you have your garage sale and shit, that's kind of.
But I think IOUs are simpler. I mean, they haven't.
Maybe, but it allows certain people to get more wealthy, and that's the only reason they came up with that crap. It's just that because there was.
Well, I mean,
the wealthy kings of the world, they could only take each other's gold for so long.
You have a point, but if we can control.
So they were like, okay, how can we get more rich?
A little better, like self-control in that department. I think it work a lot better than
I would like a society that actually doesn't base itself on money in any way, shape, or form. That would be wonderful if people would actually want to contribute, and that's I guess that's the hard part. That's where the problem is. That you know, not enough, like too many people would do absolutely nothing if given the opportunity. They would just take up space, and yet there are more and more people coming into this world. Again, we got to cap that shit at some point. We do. We got to cap that shit. But speaking of jobs, I found this actually was kind of interesting. There was an article I found by Aaron Gouveia. Is that how you pronounce that? Gouveia something.
Gouveia.
And this is actually 11 odd jobs with high salaries. Some of them were pretty interesting. Like I don't know why I chose 11. I was like 11, okay. But I guess to fit in the horse rider, exerciser.
11?
Yeah.
Horse rider
/ exerciser. I didn't notice, but
horses don't know how to exercise by themselves.
Well, if given, you know, they would be doing nothing. They would just sit there and do nothing. It's like the problem we have with people. If they were just, you know, didn't have to have money, they would do nothing. See, so the horses need somebody to exercise them. You can actually get a job doing this. I had no idea. I never even thought about it. Like you see all these horses in the races, right? The Kentucky Derby and all that shit. Yeah. Well, those horses need to work out. They need to understand
how do you start out in that job?
I'm not quite sure, but I know you don't need a college degree. I thought that was pretty cool. But they do want, I think, like 5 or 6 years of experience or whatever. But I think, yeah.
The experience. How do you get the experience if you can't start
out the job? Right. This is the young dilemma, the dilemma that every young person deals with for their first job. But check this out, dude. It pays like $51,000 a year.
Yeah.
And that's the average. Grand. Yeah, you're getting. Yeah.
You could.
So that's actually kind of cool, man. What was another one? Sommelier, I guess, or wine steward, I guess is the word. Wine stewards, I had no idea. They make like $51,000 a year on average.
What do they do?
They're the stewards. They're the guys when you go to a fancy schmancy restaurant and the guy will come over and say, "Would you like a bottle of wine?" And you're like, "Yeah, you know, let me see." And you're thinking, "Well, I'm gonna have the steak with the potatoes. What should I?" Oh, wow, we have this certain chef.
Those assholes make $50,000.
They make $51,000 a year.
Is that what
on average? That's the average. That's the These are all average salaries. So that's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, holy shit.
This one I wouldn't do. A bereavement coordinator. All right, bereavement coordinator is somebody who trains people how to counsel other people in their grief. So
I can do that.
Yeah. So basically, like when a school shooting, for example, happens, and you know they have counselors at school, but they don't necessarily know how to deal with that shit. The school or the thing will hire one of these people who sits down and says, "You need to say this to the children," and you know, just teaches them how to console them, you know, where to direct them.
I just do it myself. I go to the school and be like,
"That's dead. They're dead. Your dog's dead." So that pays
family.
That pays $52,000 a year. So
$52,000, that's worth it.
Yeah, you see, not for me. I wouldn't want to deal with that crap. But yeah, to each their own. How about child?
I think it'd be interesting. Who else gets these?
Yeah. Childbirth educator.
Maybe I'm just an asshole. I am.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
So childbirth educator. I like this one. And annually, you make about 56,000 as a childbirth educator.
56,000.
They don't deliver babies. They don't do any of that stuff. But they're sort of like the coach.
A lot of money for not
you know what
to do a lot of
You know what
stuff.
they are? They're the human equivalent of the horse exerciser.
So basically, like
They teach you how to be pregnant and how to do pregnant shit and all that stuff, and then all the way up to like delivery, and then that's why like the doctors take over and stuff, or the midwife or whatever it is you use. I guess they're kind of like a midwife-ish kind of thing, but they make on average 56,000 a year. That ain't bad, Bingo manager, I like this one. Bingo managers make like 56,000 a year. But this ain't like the grandma bingo. Okay, this is like bingos. This is bingo manager in casinos. Now it says here the manager approves jackpots and payouts, handles escalated customer complaints and issues, and maintains total compliance with federal and state gaming regulations. Additionally, bingo managers oversee all aspects of their staff and maintaining budget. So it's actually kind of a pretty serious job. It sounds fun though. Like what do you do? I'm a bingo manager.
I manage bingo.
I manage bingo. Bingo. Elevator inspectors. I didn't know they make like 60,000 a year.
Elevator inspectors?
Yes, like every time you step in an elevator, you see that thing like, inspected by such and such.
Inspected by Drew.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, that guy makes like 60,000 a year. That's very interesting.
For inspecting stuff.
Yes.
So like making sure things are to the specifications that they.
Oh yeah, elevator inspectors make sure all elevators meet safety and compliance codes for.
That's easy. That's so easy.
Then,
you just look at stuff.
Look at a couple of wires and nut bolts, right?
That's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah.
They also inspect escalators, so it's not just elevators. They inspect escalators.
Okay, now that.
Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that woman that she was riding? She was riding an electric wheelchair up an escalator, and the escalator stopped, and she ended up flipping back. Or did it stop? No, I don't think it stopped. But she tipped back. Oh, it was hilarious. Then she gets up and walks away. She gets up and walks away. Like, how lazy are you? You're in your electric wheelchair riding a fucking escalator. Is that the epitome of lazy? Can you be more lazy than that?
I mean, if you can't walk.
I suppose you can hire somebody to control the joystick for you.
If you can't walk and you do that, that just means you're stupid.
No, but this woman got up and walked away is what I'm saying. So
and that makes you lazy.
Yeah. So how much more lazy can you get? I'm like, no, she wasn't a quad and shit. Yeah, that I get.
But I mean, if you're a quad and you try to go up any stairs like anything, you're probably.
I mean, I ride escalators, but I'm not an electric chair. So,
yeah, well, your upper body is like
strong enough to hold my weight, my body. Yeah. So another good job, actually, this one is soil conservationist, and I had no idea they had those too, but they make like 63,000 a year. So basically, the main job of a soil
you keep rounding up 62,228.
Yes, you want me to say that? $62,228 on average.
No, you just don't need to round up when it's $800 that you would need to round up, and that's before taxes. So you should probably round down.
I think people are okay with that.
No, they're not. So, they're going to complain.
Will they?
All our bars.
Well, maybe they can go to a bingo manager and complain. Take any complaint about this show to your local bingo manager. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Make the fucker earn his money. So we have a soil conservationist, right? The main job of a soil conservationist is to come up with plans to prevent erosion and develop practices for sustainable land use.
Okay.
So that's a decent job.
Yeah. I mean, you're actually doing something
positive.
Relatively.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
You can earn. I'd say that earns stuff. Yeah. That's fair.
Locomotive engineers, though, they make over 63 grand. Yeah. And how fun is that? You get to.
I mean,
all that stuff.
I mean, it's probably a lot more complicated than we as not locomotive engineers think it would be.
I don't know. Did you ever see that movie Runaway or whatever the hell that train movie was called?
Think about.
Huh?
So they have a lot of stuff to think about.
What, from stop to stop? They gotta remember when to pull that whistle when they get into like a residential neighborhood. Wake everybody up in the middle of the night.
It's hard for them to stop.
It is.
Yes. Very hard for them to stop.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that they have like alert systems on trains now and shit that do all that. So clinical ethicists, another job. They make about 67 a year. And they are basically, they're unbiased in every situation.
67,000. You can round up if it's
I did. 67.
Oh, I thought you
Go ahead, yeah. So they're supposedly unbiased in everything that they come into and they'll tell you ethically what is and isn't. It kind of gets important though sometimes though, because they get into like hospital practices and shit like that and research, what is ethical, what is not, they're probably assholes that started all that debate about the stem cell research, a couple of years ago. So
what do you think?
Yeah, prosthesists and orthotists, I can't even pronounce it. I have no idea they make almost 68 grand a year. Guys that make prosthetists and orthotists. Man, you should get that much money just for learning how to say the names. So basically, they make all the prosthetic stuff. Yeah, they make all the prosthetics, legs, things like that. I've dealt with them. Quite back, they had to put me in a turtle shell, which was the worst thing ever. So, can't do anything, can't move. So the enterostomal therapist, enterostomal therapist, yeah.
What the hell was that?
They make around 75 a year, and this is actually kind of an important job, though.
74,639
on average.
66 cents.
Whatever we said is an operation in which the surgeon cuts a passage into the patient's small intestine through the abdomen. So they go inside. So basically, patients can't leave the hospital until they learn how to do all that shit for themselves and take care of themselves. And it's the enterostomal therapist's job to make sure that you learn. The guy. Yes.
We can't be having feminine.
No. So so it's their job to basically do that. So there it is. Those are like some interesting jobs. Oh, I like this story too. Pig in Australia steals 18 beers from campers, gets drunk, fights cow. Did you see the story?
No.
No.
I did know though.
No, you did, yeah. Apparently this is kind of an issue in Australia. It's like outback, when people go camping, and if they don't secure their shit properly, animals will steal them. And on this night, this wild pig, I guess, just stole 18 beers. And by the way, this is in Australia, so each beer was like that big.
Yeah. Big old Foster's, 24 ounce.
This thing got hammered and went and picked a fight with a cow, and the cow was chasing it.
How does a pig open a beer and drink it?
I'm sure it just right into it. Hey, Chubb's here with the drill.
All right, I'm come to make noise.
The C is here.
Can you shut that door?
And give me my water, please. I'm dying. I'm dying of thirst. What's that? My water. Yay!
We need to put the microphone.
Hey, we got two C's actually that showed up. Now we're at the. Oh my, I was thirsty.
Bastard.
Yes.
All because of you, I fucking spent a lot of money
Good.
buying tools while I'm down there.
Good.
Bastard.
How'd you feel about that?
It's all your fault.
Uh-huh.
I'm $150 later. That's all.
Good. I always thought you were $150 overweight. Think of it as the Ati diet. So my one friend Carla, she was on Facebook there the other day. She was talking about Sarah Silverman. She didn't think Sarah's very funny. I tend to agree with her.
No, I think well,
you find her funny? I think some of the shit. Like when she did the skit of I'm fucking Matt Damon. Do you remember that one? She broke up with who the hell was she dating? Jimmy Kimmel. I think was it Jimmy Kimmel? Yeah.
I think she has an annoying voice, but I think she's funny.
No, I think she tries too hard. That's the thing.
Does she?
Yeah, she tries too hard. And it doesn't come off as funny. But it got me thinking, like, who do you think is the funniest female comic?
Funniest female comic?
Yeah, I was thinking about female comics. I mean, I got to think back a little bit.
Sarah Silverman was funny as hell in that movie.
She's funny in bits and pieces here and there. But to me, like I said, I think
Amy
she tries
Schumer's
to.
pretty funny. Have you ever seen Amy Schumer's stand
I don't know who Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer. Oh, she has
I'll have to look her up. Yeah.
But when they
pretty funny.
told her to sit down, and she goes, "No, it's okay. I'll stand. I want to rest my asshole." I was howling.
Yeah, that was good. But again, I mean, those are, I don't know. Like whenever you see her somewhere, just being herself, it's like she tries too hard to be funny. That's all.
Maybe.
And that's what I'm talking about.
She was on Louis.
Was she?
Yeah.
Did you see apparently
Like,
Louis?
he always has like his comedian.
Yeah.
Comedians on the show and shit.
I haven't seen the show.
Personal friends. I haven't watched it either.
Yeah,
I started watching it from like the beginning.
Well, did you see apparently today he went crazy on Twitter?
Did
he? Yeah.
What did he say?
A bunch of nonsense about Earth and Mars and I guess in a roundabout way, it sounded. Somebody said he came across as the as like the family's drunk uncle. Hey, whistling guy, we're trying to do a show.
Shut up.
So,
We gotta plug in a microphone. So we can...
yeah, well, I got a wireless mic over there.
You have a wireless microphone?
Yeah, 2 of them actually.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, that's what Chubb and I used when we were a two-man show. We would use our wireless mics. Yeah, I was trying to think of some of the comic. Who was the one comic who was in all of Mel Brooks movies? She was like, "Stop, my tits are falling."
Madeline Kahn.
Madeline Kahn, yes, she was freaking hilarious. She was hilarious.
She was in Young Einstein.
Yeah,
too.
well, she was in like Young Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. That's what I meant.
Yeah, she was in a bunch of like Mel Brooks movies. She,
Yeah.
Those guys were all doing their stuff
Yeah.
together. You know who else I thought was actually hilarious? Who was the redhead in Wings? Remember the TV show Wings? And she went on. It's Brooks. She did a Mel Brooks movie. What are you doing now?
Plug in this microphone.
Hey,
What? You think Chubb's gonna hold the microphone while he's drilling?
No, there's another.
I need a,
There's another stand over there.
Oh yeah.
we need a vacuum so we can vacuum all this stuff.
Right now? Were you gonna run the vacuum too? Just leave it. We'll vacuum it later.
Okay.
If anything, Chubb, if you could take down that shelf,
I don't think this was wrong.
that shouldn't take long. It's like just a couple of. Yeah.
Someone throws some.
Yeah,
There's
go ahead.
another one of those microphones.
You can drill. You let us know when you drill, and we'll shut up for a second while it takes you to drill through.
I need you to tell me where do you want it. I don't know where my tape measure is. Shit, I thought I left it here.
Where's the tape measure?
I thought I left it here because it wasn't in the car. Maybe I didn't leave it in the car.
Uh-oh. The show's turning into a construction show.
Yeah. Like,
Anyway, the redhead from Wings was
Home
fun.
Improvement.
Yeah, who else was good actually? What's her name?
I think you should watch Amy Schumer. She's pretty.
Well, I will now that you said it.
I was gonna say hot, but she's not very attractive. But she's pretty fun.
Well, fuck is more important. In this particular argument.
Yes.
Oh, and then there's this story. Okay, a whistling guy.
Where do you want these fucking holes?
Okay, but the holes, the sponge things will be like 2 inches, right? The foam. So that's gonna be about give me 2 inches of space before you even put a hole.
I mean this way.
Put it closer to the inside of
Everybody's
the
talking about
center table area.
setting up the studio because everything's
All right, it's 21. It's 21. 10 and a half is center. You want it like a quarter of the way? You want it like around here?
Yes. Go about from the center about halfway to the right. There we go. All right.
The show is totally.
This show's just turned into chaos. See, this is what I like this show. It just goes from nothing to something to nothing to something. You never know what happens because that's how we roll on this show.
And it's educational.
And at some point, we will have Mike Albrecht on. He's still waiting to come on, by the way.
There you go, Tim. Now you have a microphone.
That was a mic.
Now you have a voice.
Now we can hear it nice and loud as the drill just goes through that wood.
Make sure you aim it towards the drill so they can know. That's one of those really directional microphones.
Yeah.
It's a super cardio. I got it for practice.
Oh, we're getting into that conversation.
Oh yeah.
So
anyway, after that total pointless digression,
right.
we're back on a
I
subject.
found, on this subject here.
Hey, same over here.
Yes.
Same
Same
over
over. So there's this one. This is just started circulating around Facebook. A woman 29 chooses to die 2 days after her husband's birthday.
Nice.
Chooses to die.
Well, she's
Why did I say
this girl's fine. But anyway, she's terminally ill. 29-year-old woman has chosen November 1st as the day she will die. Shortly after her wedding last year, Brittany Maynard began experiencing debilitating headaches. While on vacation with her husband in January, Brittany was with grade 2 astrocytoma, a severe brain tumor. Following the initial diagnosis, doctors said her cancer had progressed to whatever a much worse version is, and that is form of brain cancer. After treatment, the average life expectancy is only 14 months. Now here's the thing. I don't have anything bad to say about this woman because I say it all the time that I spend a lot of days just in physical pain. I do. Not a day. And well, from '93 when I had my back, when I broke my back, not a day has gone by where I wasn't in pain. Just some days are worse than others. Right now it's okay. But at some point, my pain and all the other crap that I deal with, being a paraplegic, is going to get to the point where I don't want to live anymore. I know it's going to happen. Whether it's I'm 70, 80, I'm a very big, like I was a big fan of Jack Kevorkian. And I'm all for just being allowed to die in peace.
Well, yeah, if you're in pain, who are they to tell you that you must stay in pain until you naturally die?
Exactly. It's like when I was in a nursing home for 15 months.
Yeah.
You've been in there.
Yeah.
You've seen some of the people. What kind of condition they were in.
Yeah.
They didn't know where they were at. They didn't even want to care if they were alive. But they were being kept alive because Bayer and Merck and Pfizer and all these corporations are making money off just keeping these people so doped up all day long. And they just sit there staring. I mean, to me, I'm glad. Go ahead, Chubb. Go ahead. Run
That's one.
Yeah. So
apparently you can't just buy holes at a store.
No, you can't.
They don't sell them.
So basically, on November 1st, she'll be surrounded by her husband, mother,
We
and best
can
friend.
start that business, homemade holes, and just sell people holes.
But yeah, so anyway, so Maynard's family actually moved with her to Oregon because in Oregon, they've allowed 750 people to die using medication since 1997. So my kudos to Oregon, and I wish the other 49 states would follow because, just allowing people to die with dignity as opposed to forcing them to live out in ridiculous pain, suffering, is complete bullshit to me.
Yeah.
Go for it, Chubb. Drill away, buddy. Here we go. Here's one that'll get Chubb going. Jaguars apologize for mascot's Ebola sign.
Oh, fuck you!
Now, here's the thing, okay?
Use the microphone, sir.
So,
Do it.
Fuck you!
The National Football League's Jacksonville Jaguars apologized on Monday after their mascot used the Ebola epidemic to taunt fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers, as you can tell.
They lost.
Yeah, of course.
That's ridiculous.
Now, here's the thing. Remember how we talked, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, where I kind of had a little rant about people in America needing to collect a set of testicles and grow the fuck up and put me in a bunch of white pussies?
Yeah.
It's a mascot! A mascot! First of all,
I never even heard of it.
I thought it was hilarious. You didn't see it again?
I didn't see it
Okay.
again.
It was freaking hilarious. I seen a dude roll out on this little, what are those two little things, futuristic looking devices that you ride on?
Yeah.
Segways.
Segways.
So he rolls out on a Segway, and he's got like a terrible towel in his right hand, and a sign that literally read, "Towels carry Ebola" in his left hand. To like Tom Steelers fan. I thought it was fucking
That is
hilarious.
pretty funny.
Yeah, it was absolutely hilarious. And then I find out that this guy gets in trouble for doing like this.
Yeah.
Look, the only thing anybody at the Jacksonville Jaguars should apologize for is to their 5 fans about how badly that team sucks.
Yeah.
All right, that's the only thing they should apologize for, not for a funny joke. I mean, come on, that was funny shit. And by the way, the guy that everybody was all up in arms about, coming to Dallas from Liberia, who had the Ebola, he died today, this morning. So
Really?
problem solved. Okay.
No more Ebola.
Well, no, there is more because apparently another case popped up. Somebody related to him or
Probably
whatever.
touched
As
his
a-
body. Or like,
But did you see?
Doctor is-
I saw the most ridiculous thing that people post. Now, okay,
do you like my Facebook?
which one was that?
The CDC, the words of wisdom. Do not touch the body of someone who died of Ebola.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Make sure not to touch.
Yeah, but this came from the CDC, so you know it's serious. Did you see?
Don't be like performing like sexual acts with body that died of Ebola.
Don't bang. Don't. What's that called?
Actually,
Yeah, don't do necrophiliac act. Don't commit necrophilia on somebody who had Ebola and you die.
Yeah.
I actually looked up.
Hey, what if you bang a guy who had AIDS? Like he died from AIDS, and then you're a
How do you
necrophiliac. You
bang
bang
a
him.
guy that's dead?
Well, the same way you bang him when he's alive. Are you gonna get AIDS? Would you get AIDS though? That's my question.
Probably.
Well, I guess
Because,
Thanks to Father.
well, you know what? I wonder how long would the disease
That's what I'm
take
saying.
to die inside
That's what I'm saying.
the corpse? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Diseases are pretty dumb.
Well, they're not that dumb.
Trying to,
I don't
trying to
know.
kill people to.
Yeah, they ruin themselves. It's kind of like what we're doing to Earth.
Why?
It's like what we're doing to Earth.
Like, hey, let's kill the body that we
Kill the
are
host.
trying to live in.
Kill the host. Down with the host. Well, again, that's what we're doing. That's why I love that line in The Matrix. No.
I'm not saying we're
animals.
better.
You're like a virus.
I'm not saying that we're better than deadly viruses.
No, we're the same exact thing. We're due to the planet what viruses do to us.
Yeah, we do.
So what's the planet doing to the solar system? Probably the same damn thing. It just seems to escalate. It gets bigger and bigger.
I don't think it matters at that point because the solar system.
Well, not from our point of view, but from something bigger's point of view, man.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah, in the middle.
You want one in the middle too?
Sure.
Okay.
In the middle.
These holes, just so you know, are 2.5 inch.
Boo.
Yes.
Why not 3?
Because they didn't have 3
Oh,
in that case.
Well, I'll just have to make do with the 2.5, chum.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so those were some of the interesting stories I ran across, and you know, well, that's it. We've gone over an hour. Look at that, we're over an hour again. Well, it's amazing how fast this hour flies by.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, it doesn't have to be just an hour. We can go on for 3 hours.
Yeah, we could. But is there any point? Did you see that?
There's a point.
Yeah, did you
Because
see
people can leave after the first hour, and then we can mess around with stuff and try and figure out how to do the show a little bit better.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Like
to get so we can get Mike on. Yay! Now what are you doing?
I don't know.
You want a hole here, don't you?
No, not you. No.
You do custom overlays like this.
Is that what we did right now?
Yeah.
That's your grandma?
No, I don't know what that is. It's disturbing though.
It kind of looks like what was it? Tootsie? Is that the movie? Was that Tootsie?
Where he dressed as a
woman?
As a woman to get a job?
Yeah, it was not De Niro, not.
No, it was
I kind of want to
Kaufman.
I kind of want to create like an overlay that we can use for the show, like a
Photoshop. I'm not sorry.
That way,
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
That way we can do the show over there, and you won't have to worry about the background because we won't even be in it.
I could just put that my screen on.
The green screen?
No, not the green screen. The computer screen. I put that on, put the ABC show right in the background. We show footage. Like whatever. Animals doing dumb shit. You see the video I posted earlier of like hot chicks doing dumb shit?
There's ways to do that kind of stuff.
No, I know, it involves a green screen.
No, I mean like play the videos right.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
So when we're gonna have that box, that's your
I think this is the best. Well, it's between this and last week when we had Will on. This is the best 2 shows we've done so far.
Yeah, I think they've all sucked equally. But that's just my opinion.
I think they're. I enjoy them.
As you can tell, Brian's got a very bright future. An 80s record. What was that song? People so bright.
My extremely pale.
Gotta wear shades.
Gotta wear shades. Was that a guy or a band? It was a band, I think.
I don't remember.
I'm not wearing these.
I hear it all the time, but I never knew who it was.
No, you do.
We all knew.
We all knew. I took one of those dumbass 80s quiz things on there. Name this 80s TV show. And then they give you multiple choice. Like, could it be any more simple? I actually watched like pretty much every show on there. Except for Miami Vice. I don't know why. I was like the one person in America Miami Vice. What was wrong with me? That's probably why I never dressed like Don Johnson. Like every other guy in like 85, 86.
Yeah, you didn't watch Miami Vice, but we used to watch the other one with him and Chief
Nash Bridges, baby.
Nash Bridges, yeah.
Nash Bridges was good shit. You didn't watch Nash Bridges? Yeah, you were probably on board when Nash was on. What was Nash on? Nash was on like 95, 96.
Maybe late 90s.
Yeah. It was after I had my accident, so it was like 95. That's how I know everything.
Yeah.
It's like before accident, after accident. I find that anytime if you have like any events in your life that are pretty like dramatic events.
Yeah.
And everything you categorize before or after. So I had like 3 or 4 dramatic events. Like when Mom died, that's one. When we came to America, that's one. Obviously when I had my accident, etc. My marriage.
I don't do that. I tend to not have a memory at all.
I think marriage was the most traumatic.
Hey man, mine was 7 years. Well, 3 years marriage, but 7 total. Hey, whatever. Shit just didn't work out. What can I say? I fall into the 55 percentile or whatever we're up to now.
But it's like 70%.
60%. No, it's not that high yet, is it?
Divorce? Yeah, it's in the 70s.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
We thank women
I like
for
it.
that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of, you know who you thank for that?
Both of them.
The banksters.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a reason. Just think how much more money they make since mom and dad are no longer living together.
Yeah, right.
That's
Exactly.
it. It all comes out
Yeah.
of money, everything. Any
Right.
movement that has ever happened in like recent history, in the last 150, 200-year history of not just America, but the world, has been created and generated by banksters to
Right.
create more wealth.
Right. And you know what? Prime example. That's why when I lost my job and my finance was cut in half, and I went for a modification just for a few months so I can get back on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they slammed me with more.
Yeah.
And yeah, they don't give a fuck about the welfare of the child. All they care is cha-ching, because they get a cut of what daddy sends mommy.
Here's
they get a percentage.
Here's what they do, and most people haven't figured it out. I was lucky that I figured it out. I mean, it affected me personally, but it didn't affect me personally, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't make sense at all.
Because I wasn't directly affected. I wasn't the one going through the divorce when this happened. My ex-wife was divorcing her ex-husband.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I was a part of. I got caught up in that stupid game between the two of them and everything.
Yeah.
Just by extension.
Right.
You know, just like his.
Yeah. Right.
It's like people, your friends, and people getting divorced, get caught up in this
Get
nonsense.
caught up in it. Yeah, exactly.
But what they do, and I saw this again, sitting on the sideline, being part of it, however you want to say it. I had that experience of sitting there watching how these attorneys work. And what they do is they sit down the two parties and they look at, because they have files, they have access to all your financial records and everything else. So they can figure out
They know how much they can milk
get
you.
out of you.
Yeah, they know how much they can milk you.
And then
for.
what they do is they use the child or children to against the parents.
Yep.
And both parties do it. Well, she's asking for this. Well, he's pushing for this, and he's pushing for that. And they will make sure that they keep that fuel going, baby, and milk the shit out of you until you're both flat broke.
Yep.
Or until you both wise up enough and realize that a divorce doesn't mean you have to be the enemy.
Exactly.
A divorce simply means that, okay, like whenever Karen and I got divorced, we kept it civil. I said, that's it. We're done. I'm taking my studio shit. Not even.
And Trace and I were real cool with it too.
That's how you gotta do it, man. You
Yeah.
gotta understand that there's going to be give and take. But they turn it into a freaking sport where now you're trying to outdo the other one. And it becomes just like a call in the United States where, you've got 500,000 missiles, we have 500,001. So you're trying to one up each other all the time. So that's what they do. What do you mean?
With the missiles. Because the lawyer would be the medium between the two people getting
Well,
divorced.
the missiles is the money. They're just milking the money right out of you. That's what they're doing. And man, they get everybody involved.
Lawyer, if it's U.S. versus Russia or whatever. Just like.
Oh, it's the banksters. They're the lawyer. They're the ones who do it. The banksters are the ones. They control both sides.
So
They play every side, man. If you look at World War II, for example, you can find direct ties of the Rothschild family to Hitler and his finance of the Third Reich. Their finance of the Third Reich.
Yep.
While at the same time, they were financing the United States and getting them involved in World War II. So these guys aren't stupid. An educational show. So these guys, they know how to play the game, man. They know how to, feed both sides to, just create more wealth, generate more wealth. That's again going back to cash. That's why they want to go to a cashless society, because A, you can track that shit. B, you can't work under the table if everything's just numbers being transferred back and forth. And C, you can create literally unlimited amount of wealth. You just add another zero. That's all. But you can't do that with gold because there's only so much gold. And money, you keep creating more money. Well, I mean, inflation is ridiculous. I wonder what that complete cashless society is going to do to things like inflation.
Yeah.
It'll only be inflation.
Right.
That'll be existence until it's.
No, you would think. I'd like to get a money expert on this show too. In fact, my friend Mitch is one. Maybe we'll have him on the show at one point, and he can explain to us. I like when Brian sang the money, 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 money. Like kissing on the platter. Money, 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 money. Not this Brian the dog. Yeah. Not to be,
Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy, exactly.
No,
Yeah.
Brian was pissing on the elephant.
I'm back to see Family Guy episodes are back. That makes me happy.
All right.
So, all right.
Crossover.
I liked it, man.
I thought it
People
was funny.
bombed it. People bombed it. But
The entire internet bombed it. I liked it.
look, here's the thing.
like
What do you want? Do you know what I mean? And that's why I don't like shows that do when they
Those
do
weird.
crossovers. I don't like when they do things like that because no matter what you do, you're never going to meet people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when you read a book and then the movie comes out. The movie's always a letdown
Yeah.
because you create the image in your head when you read the book. And so you and I can read the same book and both love it, but we probably have completely different images in our head.
Yeah.
So if I make a movie, you're gonna be like, no, that's not how it was. You know? So I think that's what happens. Anytime you do shit like that, you're kind of doomed to fail. But I personally liked it.
Abraham Lincoln vampires.
That was a cool.
That was actually cool. I
was
had
cool.
no desire to watch that.
Me
And
neither.
all sorts of people told me, dude, that was so cool.
Was I one of them?
Yeah.
Actually, I came
Yeah,
in
you were. You watched
I came
it
in like
before I did.
3/4 of the way my brother was watching it. It just, I heard the title. I'm like, that's the fucking
Yeah.
dumbest thing.
That's
I've
what I
ever
thought,
heard.
too.
I was
like,
expecting a
what the
complete
fuck
beating.
outta
Like
here?
Corona
Yeah.
or
Yeah, I was expecting a total
Yeah,
beating.
I was expecting like 2020 Texas
Oh,
Gladiators.
the
like,
greatest
that
cheesy
bad.
movie ever made. If you can find this somewhere, look it up. It's called 2020 Texas Gladiators.
The Indians, all played by a Dago
What?
cast.
It was like it was made
I've
like
heard of it.
oh, it's horrible.
Oh, it's an old
You
movie.
know how they make the spaghetti westerns, which were basically all made in Italy. That's hence the name
Yeah.
spaghetti westerns, where they made all those like Clint Eastwood knockoffs. That's what spaghetti westerns are. But they were just cheap knockoffs of the Hollywood versions of Eastwood movies.
Yeah,
Well, this was
like
a
a
version of Road Warrior.
post-apocalyptic.
When the Road Warrior came out, well, Mad Max came out. That sort of set off an entire chain
Yeah.
of like, and then the Road Warrior came out. They got huge, and so in Italy they started making all these knockoffs. I guess you'd call them like spaghetti post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
You know. But dude, it's hilarious because it had like I swear to God, it was done on a $10 budget.
That's
Yeah,
we
yeah.
should make a movie. We should make one.
Like our own movie?
Yeah.
Why not?
We have equipment.
Yes, absolutely.
We have audio equipment.
Yeah. It can't be any worse than 2020 Texas
No,
Gladiators.
it can't be.
So the
We just
thing
need to
is,
find a.
the
we just
thing
need
is-
to- we just need to write an entire script, and
I can do
plot.
that.
We need to do that. We just
I
need
can
to
do
write
that.
a movie.
Do that overnight and be better than 2020 Texas Gladiators.
And you know what? You can go look at the Mind of Adam. I got an entire movie right there. Yeah, man. So 2020 Texas Gladiators. If you can find it somewhere, look it up. And it is so bad that it's funny. But here's the thing, though. You remember when Chubba and I actually watched that movie? When Chubba and I, yeah, Buddhism. There you go.
Because remember when we were talking about it,
That's
the
it.
whole Facebook post making an actual religion out of it. That'd be a perfect premise.
Buddhism. When Chubba and I actually saw it, 2020 Texas Gladiator, it was one of those things that, remember, we saw it on like channel 53,
Something like
like
that.
later
Late
night.
night,
It was like
3
3
o'clock in the morning or some
o'clock.
shit. Yeah.
Well, this was like before the common cable era.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I said cable. That's why I didn't say TV.
Yeah.
Because TV is now digital.
Right, but it's like, yeah, it was back then. Most people still only had like 2, 4, 11, 53,
Yeah.
22. You could get it, and QED. And so that was pretty much the
The rest
channel.
are just public
So
access channels.
oh, it was crazy, man. But it had commercial breaks in it. But then we saw the movie later. Remember, like 10 years later, we saw the movie again.
Yeah.
We actually like somebody found it in a video store. But I don't know if it was you or
I think
who it was.
I think it was because we got on a kick where we'd rent a movie, watch all the trailers,
yeah.
and then write them down like, oh, we got to look for this movie. And look
That's
for this
how we
movie.
found one of the funniest movies
Noises
ever.
Off.
Noises Off.
Uh-huh.
Noises Off is one of the freaking funniest movies ever. That it's got a great cast. It's got
Yeah.
Michael Caine, Christopher Reeve,
Carol
Burnett. Oh, Carol was funny women.
She was
Carol Burnett.
hilarious
Yes.
in it.
Carol
What's her name
Burnett.
from Taxi?
Yep. What is her name? Another
The
redhead.
redhead from Taxi. Yeah. I can't think of her name right now.
Marianne something? No.
No.
This is where we need to Google that shit. Anyway, Julie Haggerty, another
Yeah.
funny woman. Julie Haggerty, she was in the Airplane movie.
Airplane. Yeah.
Julie Haggerty,
Who did you play?
she was a stewardess.
Yeah, no, I know. That.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, we said John Ritter, right?
Yeah.
John Ritter, Larry, who was it? Larry or cousin Larry from
Cousin Larry
What was that
from
radio show?
Balky from the Bell. Was it? No.
No, not
Something
Big Brother.
Together. No.
Oh, what was that show? It took place in Chicago. It was cousin. It was Balky who came here and from Mepos or whatever.
Yeah.
Moved in with cousin Larry. Perfect Strangers. Yes,
That's
Perfect
right,
Strangers.
yeah.
Yeah. So cousin Larry was in it. It's got a great cast, and the premise is like Noises Off is an actual play. It's a real play, and so the cast they start off in like Iowa somewhere like Midwest, and sort of.
It's the night before opening night.
Well, no, the movie starts there, but then they flash back to how it starts. Okay, and it starts in like Iowa, like months earlier, and the idea is that they put the show together and they perfect it, and then they eventually make their way to New York City. And they go through like Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Philly, and they make their way to New York City on Broadway and premiere the show. And by the time they get there, like Michael Caine, who plays the director of the thing, is a freaking complete wreck. He's just like he's trying
chain smoking, popping pills, drinking like crazy. He's a nervous wreck.
The freaking thing is hilarious because what they do, it's very clever. They take the first, like, it's 20 minutes to kind of set up the play. It's not the first 20 minutes.
The first act.
Funny.
It's the first act that they go through.
Yeah, but they show you what the play is supposed to look like. So they take the time to set up the play and how it's supposed to look and everything. And then as they go through the cities, you get into all the shit that goes wrong. If you've ever been a part of any kind of play, whether it was in kindergarten, high school, you've done drama in college, whatever, you're going to fucking laugh your ass off on this movie because you completely relate. And if you want to know kind of what it's like to be backstage and being part of a show,
and especially too when cast members start sleeping with each other, and
oh, it's hilarious. I mean, the whole episode with the flower when he brought the flowers.
I would watch that movie.
Yeah. That movie's great. It's called Noises Off. It's freaking hilarious. Yeah, Noises Off.
We'll see them in 2020.
2020 Texas Gladiators. Now that one is bad. 2020 is awful. That's an awful movie.
But it
wasn't as funny. When we watched it again later, it wasn't as funny as it was when it was edited for television.
Because they had
scenes in there. Remember in 2020
movies that are so bad that it's just hilarious.
Well, they have shit in there that makes no sense. Like the police, they're firing all these bullets at each other, and nothing can penetrate. But they're like the police have these shields.
Oh, that's right.
Remember they have these shields.
It was like
young people go through it.
That had a force field. But the arrows
went right through them.
That the Indians that were Italian, just as
Indians with like chest hair and 5 o'clock shadows. They're like, we've got to go this way, huh? Killing them motherfuckers.
Their arrows.
Remember they had this giant thing on their head with like an arrow with a feather stuck in it? Oh, the movie was so freaking awful. It was hilarious.
It was so bad. It was so hilarious.
Yeah. Then remember they had a scene in there where they raped a nun for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Just for like shock value.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
just to rape a nun.
Yeah, they're gonna rape a nun. So there's a nun rape scene in there for no apparent reason. Which
and
was
the evil villain with the
TV.
laugh. Yeah.
And he zoomed in. The bad guy had a monocle, which is awesome because all bad guys should wear monocles. It's like, yeah, absolutely. Even in Bond, who was the guy with the cat? He wore a monocle, or one of those guys wore a monocle. Yeah. Right? Remember?
Mr. Evil.
Was it?
Mr. Evil.
Whatever his name is. But yeah, if you wear a monocle, dude, you gotta be a bad guy.
Yeah.
Just how it works. So yeah, those are 2 movies.
Real quick, getting back to Noises Off, I think one of my favorite parts was when the sardines got spilled in the back, and he slips the balls, and Carol Burnett is on stage and has to reenact, and she goes, "Oh my God!"
I can't wear my earphones. Don't give it away.
Carol Burnett was hilarious in that movie, man.
Oh,
she was awesome.
That movie is great.
Yeah, everybody. It's the same thing though. It's kind of sad because like Christopher Reeve's dead.
Yeah.
John Ritter's dead.
John Ritter.
Who else?
Well, Christopher Reeve was dead for a long time.
Well, not during the making of that movie. He was very much alive.
Yeah, he was very much alive for the making of it.
Actually, that movie was made, I think, a year or 2 before his accident. It was right around that time.
What's it?
Yeah, the movie came out, I think, I want to say 91, 92, something like that. So, because I remember whenever we saw it, he was already paralyzed.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
And then we saw that movie, and it felt weird seeing him in a new movie where he wasn't like in a wheelchair.
When his speech pattern was like this,
it had to be. Yeah. Got the hair just pushing the hair. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so fucked up to not be able to control your own breathing pattern.
Well,
That's the
especially,
least of your problems as a quad.
especially when you were Superman.
That's right.
You know, it's like
To me,
it's the
he's still
curse.
Superman.
You guys
To me,
see that
it's
still
the curse
You
of
guys see that South Park
playing
episode
Superman.
yet?
Which one?
The one with Christopher Reeve, and he starts.
I don't know if I saw that one.
I don't know. I didn't.
It's about like stem cell research and what he
But it
does.
must have came out like around the 2004 elections.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
like what happened, he was like splitting fetuses next to half.
Oh, I did see that. That's right. And he gained superpowers. Yeah, that's right.
He's like, now I'll demonstrate as I move my hand, and he's like moving it, and it just progressively gets more and more and more, and eventually he like, who is the villain in the one Superman movie?
Zod. Zod is the ultimate.
Zod, yeah.
Well, the guy who played like the villain.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
It was Lex Luthor.
yeah. Whoever played Lex Luthor, the character, no, not the character, but the guy who played it.
The guy, it
He
was
doing the
Gene
same
Hackman.
thing.
Gene
Yeah.
Hackman.
He's
Yeah,
trying to match his powers.
Yeah. And then there was like a fight scene, and like Christopher Reeve was like throwing up.
I do remember that one now. Yeah.
So, that's hilarious.
No, I haven't seen them. You know, I haven't seen that many South Park. I've seen probably about 2 or 3 dozen of them.
I lost touch with South Park through the years.
Yeah.
I
It
love
was like the
South Park.
Simpsons. The same thing with the
They're
Simpsons. When they first came out, like that's all everybody was. Every TV in every fucking household across America was tuned into Fox. That and Married with Children. I want to say they kind of ran back to back, but real close.
Yeah.
They're right there. Married with Children was another great show.
Great show.
It was so cheesy, like the acting and everything on it was so cheesy. But they were just. It was great to see them just get away with everything.
Yeah.
You know? That was before all this pussy political correct bullshit came along.
So are we gonna end the show now?
Fuck
I guess
you,
we can.
society. All right, well, I'm out of here.
We finally have Chubb, and he's actually talking into the microphone.
I know, it
Now
was
we're
great
gonna-
to have this C finally join the A and B.
On
I
the
don't
side
know
of the partner.
Your shirt's inside out, by the way.
Yes, it's always inside that.
Why is that?
Because I don't like this tag.
He's like a Marine. He wants to, keep the clean side, whatever. The soft.
tag.
You like tags?
I don't like the tag. No, actually, what happened was I have a ton of work shirts that I
He's gonna
got
hang himself by
from
the
my
tag.
last company,
Huh?
and well, I'm not going to throw them away, but I'm not going to wear them right side out. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
I
not going
gotcha.
to promote my old douchebag company.
Yes.
So
We don't promote douchebag companies.
no,
Unless
So,
it's an actual douchebag.
I just kind of started
They
wearing
pay us to
work
promote
shirts
douchebag.
inside out. I don't know.
You know what, though?
It's a new trend.
Your boss can buy this show. Your old boss. They can buy this show.
Good.
I'm buyable.
He could.
Brian, are you buyable?
He could.
We're buyable.
He's a
You
cheap
can put
fat
advertising.
fuck now.
Oh,
real
we'll,
cheap.
we'll charge him double.
Yes.
We'll charge
Triple.
him double.
Triple.
Okay.
Triple.
All right. Well, let's say goodnight to Joel.
All right.
We ran about an hour and 20
Good night,
minutes.
fuckers.
We never even introduced Chubb.
Yes.
Chubb.
I'm the silent partner.
Yeah, it is the ABC.
Here.
The C.
That's me.
The C in the ABC show is silent.
I don't understand what people.
It's the AB show. AB show.
Well, you can't even do the k because it's not a full k. It'd be like,
I like that one thing. Like, I don't know if you saw that one thing I posted. Somebody forwarded. It was what was it? Phonetics.
you need your drum set.
Yeah.
So we can do all
That's
the
cool.
fills. All the fills
I think
while
that's
we're
good.
not talking. That was the original idea. Whenever there's like a little moment of silence where we pause.
Yeah, that's what Tom was doing. Just immediately start
Just
playing.
need a snare and a cymbal. But
Dude,
All
did you
right.
see that one video I posted
A little roll.
of the band that was playing in that?
single-handed roll.
Did you see that one?
oh yeah.
Drum machine where they went around like this.
Yeah. That's
And
cool.
they had a guitar player. What was it? A guitar player, a drummer, a guitar
Drummer,
player, and somebody. I don't know.
Keyboards or something.
Bass. I think it was bass.
Yeah.
And they play like ska music, right? And it's a big giant. It looks like a Ferris wheel kind of thing. It was probably like as big as this room, and each one was like in this little pod. All three of them were in a pod, and then on the sides were two guys who were like on bicycle kind of things that were attached to it, and they were cycling. They were bicycling, and as they were bicycling, the thing was spinning like this. You know,
That's cool.
so yeah, so they were playing the ska music, and they were riding around. It was like the coolest thing to see.
What's the point of that?
Just a cool thing to see.
Okay,
It was just cool as shit.
it's weird.
Yeah, it's the kind of stuff you would see at a fair, and you're like, dude, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. It serves no actual purpose,
All right,
but it's fun.
see out.
C is out. Actually, A are out too.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's be out.
Okay,
Let's just quit talking about being out.
I guess these shows.
Good night, Attila. Good night, Attila. Good night, everyone.
Brian.
This is Attila.
I'm Brian.
I happen to be looking at myself.
I'm working on an intro. We got to do like a recorded intro that we just play at the beginning of
it. It's us talking, and then we'll start talking on top of it and confuse everybody.
Yes.
I like it.
All right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Unprofessional.
Have a very unsafe but yet fulfilling week.
Yes. Try not to.
No, don't try anything. Do it.
I said try not to.
No, do it. Don't listen to him. Do it.
Okay. Try to hurt.
If you want to do it, do it.
Go out in the world and
do stuff.
Follow your dreams.
Do stuff.
And
And if you happen to get hurt, fuck it.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Again. Good night, everyone.
Fuck.
Do it already, man. Do it.
I'm teasing you.
Do it.
And you fucked it up. All right.